Now, once you've mounted your picture, you're happy with it, it's a good idea to put it together as the customer would want to see it. So what I've done here is I put a separate piece of card. You don't have to do this, but I do anyway. I put that in there, like that, and then I put the background on it. Now, it's a good idea at this stage to put that together, so when they take it out, they're going to get it like that. Now, how do you do that? Well, best way of doing it, really, is to start with this piece of paper, like that, with a bit of tape on that, and a nice, so cut that off, make it as neat as possible, because they're going to handle this and they're going to see it. Okay, so that's one, like that, and then do it again on here. Now, why is that? Because ordinarily, if you were framing this picture, you wouldn't need to do this, to be fair. You wouldn't have to do it. It would be in a frame, and this could be loose, as this could be loose. However, let's just do this properly, like that. Again, make it neat. That bit well off. There we are. That's good. There we are. So that's got another piece. Now that puts it together nicely, and when you put it all together, you're going to end up with it in a nice, neat little package like that. Don't tape it any. I never have ever taped this at the bottom. It's not so bad on pastel mat. This is pastel mat paper I'm using, but other paper, it could be a problem. So there we are. Now, that's got it there, but that's how the customer would have it. But this is what we need to do now. You need to cover that with another sheet. Now, that's not going to touch the picture, okay, because with the mount, you've pushed it away from the edge. So let's put it on there carefully, make sure it's clean. Okay, and now what I would do now is again, I would tape that. Let's cut a few of these off. For fuffing about, but it protects the picture. That's the main thing. Now that taped on there will stay put. Really need to do it either end, I don't think, but just to be safe. Keeps it secure. There we are. Now that's no way you could stand on that almost, and it's not going to damage the picture or the mount. And the next thing I would do is, if you've got one of these, ideal. If you haven't got one of these, don't worry. You can put it in bubble wrap. I would put that in there and secure it. Good idea here to put a bit of tape on that. I'm actually going to use sellotape on here. Let's put that on there. But, you know, you could still use a sticky tape. Sellotape's cheaper than masking tape. Like that. And do the same again here. Just put that in there and secure it. Now, what we've got now is a package which is very, very secure. Okay, so that's nice and secure. Now, what we've got to do now is put it in a box. You don't have to do this, but it's going to wrap it up. But I would always put it in it looks better. Yeah. This is a box which I got from out along the post office. Show you. Sturdy, and it will fit beautifully in there. So it's best to take sort of this along to your post box and check it out. Do a bit of a gap either end, but it doesn't matter. Now, what we've got to do is pad that out. Two ways you can do it. You can either use bubble wrap, or you can use scrunched up paper. Now, it's economically friendly these days to use paper. Now, I've got that in bubble wrap, but I would probably forgive myself for that because it does secure it nicely. But we're going to use paper. So I'm going to scrunch up some paper, and we're going to put that in the bottom, put that on top. So this is sandwiched between the paper. Okay, paper at the bottom, paper at the top, and I'll scrunch some to go along the sides. So you can leave that with me for a minute, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how we get on. Right, threading. And that's puffed up so that when I bring the lid back on there, that's going to come in nicely. Again, fuffing about to do, but it will go. Force it down. The tighter it is, the better secure it's going to be. Tight, and then it sits into there. Now, it's gone really nice and tight. That's now they can throw that around, folks, and nothing would happen to it. All right. So, what do we do from there? Well, we get the tape out. This is brown parcel tape. What you don't want to do is secure it over the address area. Now I'm going to come down here like that. Put it tight. To make sure. Scissors. Oh, that'll hold it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another one. Start from here because of the address. Probably a good idea here would be to do. Let's see how this is a pain. Normally what I do is, what I normally do, and stop there is when I do that. All right. So it's glad it happened, but I can show you. I'm going to go on the edge like that. So I leave that free. Okay. So you can, it's not going to take me long to do it. Again, to take it now this time. This time, like that. Okay, and now that can be another thing I would do. Could in fact do another one across there. That if do you like that? It's up to you. I leave that to you. But another thing I would do is make sure these ends are. In fact, that's what I would do. Thinking about that again, I would put the sender's details here. Well, you can get that in, but you could have done similar to what I've done the other side. Let's do that. Just seals it up, and that I assure you, they can throw that across their surface floor, and nothing would happen to it. Your picture, right? Come in there, tuck that in. There we are. You could do one along there. In fact, it's probably a good idea to do that. I haven't used one of these boxes for a while, so I want to get back into the swing of it all. You do is you put your address in here. This is sender's details, and here it's 2. Pretty obvious. So it's 2, whatever. And there you go. Now, I would also choose it. You could send it like that. You don't have to wrap it in any brown paper or anything. That is nice and secure. Now, what I would also do here is ensure this. I've always done it, and I've never had a problem. And that will go anywhere in the world. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Sorry about the fuffing about. It's not an easy thing to do. I'm not a packer. I'm an artist. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you again on another one very, very soon. Bye for now.